G'day everyone, Phil from Philcott Photos here. Just wanted to share a couple of tips or techniques that can be used with one of my upcoming workshops, which is the astrophotography workshop coming up in the coming months. With the skies starting to darken, coming into winter, astrophotography is going to be a bigger component of photography, and hopefully everyone can get some great images. But one part of my workshop we'll be capturing star trails, so it's important that once we get the actual images that are used for the final star trail image, that it's important that we know how to process them and get the right effect at the end. So we're going to go into a couple of techniques. The first one is with the Adobe Photography Plan using Lightroom and Photoshop, and the second one is going to be using a free program which you can download from the web called Star Trails. So let's get started and have a look at the one in Lightroom and with Photoshop. Cheers. Okay, so for those with the Adobe Photography Plan, the monthly subscription plan, which gives you the latest versions of Adobe Lightroom and Adobe Photoshop, this is a quick way to combine images that you've captured that you want to combine into star trails. So you can see here I've got a number of photos that I've captured. This was last year out near Birdsville. This is the Karkari ruins. So beautiful dark skies out there. So I captured these specifically for star trails. So the details of each photo was 30-second exposure at f4 at ISO 1600. So I think there's 100 photos there. So I eventually combined all those, but for the purposes of this exercise, just to show you how to quickly make a star trail an image out of a number of photos. I'll just use 10 photos here. So if you just select the first photo and then hold shift down and select the 10th photo there, so you can see all those the photos that I want to use there are selected. So then we just right click and then go edit in. Now we want to open these up as layers in Photoshop, so we go down to open as layers in Photoshop. Click on that. You can see there it's starting to load those photos in as layers under the one file. This little load layers symbol here comes up while it's doing that. Okay, that little load layers symbol's gone now, so it's loaded those 10 photos in. You can see all them there as layers in the one Photoshop file. So now what we've got to do is highlight all those layers. So you can see the first layer there is highlighted. So again, we hold shift down and then click on the last one. You can see there all those 10 layers are now highlighted. What we do now is go up to this little drop down here, which is the blend mode, and we drop that down and we go down to lighten. Click on that, and you can see there that it's combined all those, or stacked all those layers together in the one image, and you can see our star trailing effect on that photo. So because the sky's been moving, it gives you that star trailing effect, but because the ground and the ruin there are stationary, they stay nice and sharp. So what we do now is we can just save that file. So go File, Save. That's saved. Now we can go back to Lightroom now. And what we've got here, it brings that file back into Lightroom at the end of the 10th photo there. So if you click on that, there's our star trail image back in back in Lightroom. We can either edit that now, either in Lightroom or back in Photoshop. If you did edit it back in Photoshop, when you save it again, it would come back into Lightroom as well. So there you go. That's a quick way of making your star trail images with Lightroom and Photoshop. Way to make a star trail image is using a simple little program that you can download for free from the web, and that program is called Star Trails, so it's really easy to remember. And how that works is that just works with your high-res JPEG images that you can export from Lightroom or however you capture them, or whatever program you're using. It doesn't work with RAW files, so you need to work with, if you want a high-res output file, you need to work with high-res JPEGs to start with. So you can see here I've got my 10 photos that I want to stack into my star trail image. So all I need to do now is to go down to the folder where I've got my Star Trails application. It's a very simple program. It just downloads in a zip file, and then you just extract the files and then just pick up the application file here out of the folder structure. So you can see the little icon there that says Star Trails. So we just open that up, and that opens the program. So you see there, very simple. So what we do now is we just go to this little icon on the toolbar on the far left that says Open Images. We open that, and you just search for your folder where your photos are. Mine's already come up straight with that folder, so we just click on the first image there, and then scroll down to the last image, hold down Shift, and click again, and that'll select all our photos that we want to stack. Then we just go Open, and you can see there in the Files box on the left hand side all the 10 photos are there, they're all ticked. So then it's just a matter of, in the same toolbar where we open images, there's a second from the right there's a little icon which looks the same as the one to open the application. It's called Star Trails, so we just click on that, and then we just leave this blend mode at the one it's got selected, so the one without gaps. It's a bit slower, so it gives you a bit better quality output file. And then once we hit OK, it'll quickly stack all those images, and you'll see in the progress bar down the bottom here, you'll see the blue progress bar. It'll shoot across to the right pretty quickly. Obviously, if you've got more images, then it's going to take a bit longer to stack them all together. So if we select OK, you can see there it's stacking them already, and the bar's going across. There you go, it's finished. So very quick for those 10 photos, and pretty good quality image there. So then all we do is go back up to our toolbar menu again, and we hit the little Save Image icon, and mine's just defaulted back to the folder structure where my original photos were, but you can save it anywhere. Just navigate to where you want to save it, and make sure it's this drop down here is on JPEG. I'm just going to call it Star Trails, what it comes up with, and that'll just put the folder in that same folder structure. So we hit save. Now this bit's pretty important. You should put this up to 100%, so that gives you your maximum file or image quality. So make that 100, and then go OK. And then our image is saved. So if we go back to our folder structure where our photos are, there's my original 10 photos, and there is my final image, or Star Trail image, that exported from that Star Trail program. You can see there, like all my files were 2000 pixels across the long edge, so the output file is 2000 and 2.2 megs. So obviously if you're working with higher res files, you're going to get a better quality output file. So if we click on that, there's our image. So that's another real quick way to make a star trail image from a number of photos. Okay, so that's a wrap on processing all your images that you want to combine or stack into a final star trails image. Thanks very much for watching, and hope to see you out shooting soon or at one of my workshops. And happy shooting and enjoy. Cheers.